Alright, I'm gonna give this a few minutes for people to come in the chat room. I am Curtis from PSNStores. I want to try to make this a weekly thing since we've kind of gotten away from doing the weekly streams like we used to. And then I'm also going to try, since you can archive these streams now, I'm going to try to get the archive out and then post it to the website later. So if you don't get the whole thing, and if you miss parts of it or if you miss the stream, we'll see if we can post it to the site later on. But this is Rogue Legacy. This is out today. I'm going to play this for maybe 40 minutes or so, and then we're going to jump into Pure Pool, which also came out today on PS4. I started up a new profile, so we're just going to jump in. I skipped the tutorial. It's just like a minute long, and it kind of tells you how to play the game, so it's not anything special. Alright, so a brief overview. Rogue Legacy takes some elements of like a roguelike game in that this castle, every time you enter it, it's going to be randomly generated. The layout is always changing every single time that you enter into it. And then also it has permadeath, so there's a big like lineage or like genealogy factor to this game where this character in particular, when he dies, he will be dead for good. But I will be able to pick up the family line with his children. And so every time you're going to have a choice between 3 of their kids. And they'll have different traits and different classes and abilities that you can choose from. And so as you kind of progress through the game and more people die, like the family line kind of grows as you go along. And so there's a little bit, there are elements of progression, whereas like normally a roguelike doesn't really have that. This game does. So you will always be, like, even though you're gonna die a lot in this game, and I will probably die a lot on this stream, but you'll always be progressing in some way. So your kind of goal here is to get you want to get as much gold as you can. Because gold will be used to upgrade your manor, and that will unlock different classes, that will upgrade some of your stats. And you can also use that to buy better equipment and some better skills later on. Yeah, so I can jump, I can swing my sword. I have a magic attack, so this guy can shoot knives out. And then, so on the PS4, if you press the touchpad in, you can bring up your map. The castle is separated into 4 different areas, so you might see that a little bit later as we go along, but you have the main castle itself. And so that's always going to be the first area that you go to. And then you have a forest, you have a tower area above, and then you have like a basement, a very dark area below. And each of these 4 areas house a really big monster, a boss fight that you need to take down. Once you kill all 4 of the main bosses, you will unlock kind of the door that leads to the final encounter. What we picked up there, the blueprint, you'll see right after I die here, but you unlock a blacksmith that can make weapons and equipment for you. And so those blueprints are what you need to actually have him make this stuff for you. Right here is the boss room. I'm not gonna go in it right now. One, because I've just started and I don't have a whole lot of health. So at the HP, like 34 HP, like I probably won't even take one hit from him. But I won't be able to survive a hit from him at least. Oh, that's... Alright, let's see if I get lucky here. We pray for assistance. Yes. Alright, so you'll find these statues throughout the castle. Usually, you'll probably only run into like one on a run. But if you pray to it, they will give you an item. So that Hermes boot, if I remember correctly, essentially means that if you see, let's test it out. Alright, nope, that's not it. I want to say that it makes you invincible against like spikes. I could be wrong there. But it'll give you different items that will give you some special abilities. Like one's called like the Hyperion Ring, and basically that means like if you die, it'll resurrect you at like 25% of your health. But then there are also some things that you might get from it that are bad. There's the Hedgehog's Curse, which basically, if you get the Hedgehog's Curse from that statue and you get hit, a large portion of the gold that you've collected just flies out all over the place, so it's kind of a nod to Sonic. Okay, so here's kind of the big thing about this game is the genealogy part of it. And so you see here, I just played as Sir Lee. He is the Valiant Knight. Now that he has died, I need to pick up the family line somewhere. And so here are his 3 children. So you have Lady Block, you have Sir Shrew, and you have Sir Igas. Lady Block is a barbarian. We have a knight, and then we have a knave. So there is, I don't know, like, more than a handful of different classes throughout the game. You start with kind of a small selection, but as you upgrade your manor, you're going to unlock different classes. Each class you can upgrade once, and when you upgrade that class, they get a special ability that is unique to them. So the barbarian gets like a barbarian shout, and what that does is any projectiles in the room, if you do the shout, they just automatically go away. Now you notice these characters also have traits. So, for instance, Lady Block has peripheral arterial disease. So she has no footballs, and that means like you saw the spike floor, that when I walked over the floor the spikes came up. If I walked over those with this character, those spikes would not activate. She is also gay. That really doesn't do a whole lot. You notice that the boss room that we found, on either side of the door there were statues that if I broke them, it gave me a health item or a mana item. If you have the gay trait, the items that those like I think the default is that the male statue gives you the health boost, and so if your character is gay, it's the female item that gives it's something like that. I might be switching it up, but that's what that does. It also changes like the ending cutscene, but other than that, that doesn't really do anything. So Sir Shrew has OCD. So if you go around, if you break all the chairs, if you break the tables and stuff, like that will grant you more mana. But he's also skinny, so every time he gets hit, you're going to be sent flying backwards. And then we have Sir Igas, who has ADHD, so he moves quickly. He's also stereo blind, so we're going to use him because I like the stereo blind effect. Okay, so your manor here, I had a pretty good run, actually. I was 920 gold is alright. So I've unlocked the blacksmith. You saw me collect the blueprint earlier. You're going to collect a lot of blueprints, and that will allow you to pay him to give you, to kind of make new weapons or new armor for you. Let's upgrade our health. Let's upgrade the knight class. So all of my knights are now going to be paladins. you will unlock the Enchantress. The Enchantress can empower your body with magical runes, making you better, stronger, faster, jumpier. Find runes to increase her repertoire of body-modifying talents. Her crystal ball is just for show. So I didn't pick up any on that run, but you'll find runes throughout the game that will have different abilities that you can unlock. And the Architect, he is important. So normally when you enter the castle, it's always going to be kind of randomly generated. But if you find the boss room, and so you die against that boss and you want to give it another shot without having to go through and track it down again, you can use the Architect to lock down the castle. That'll make it so the layout is the same as it was the previous time. But that also means you're not going to be getting as much gold. You get like 60% of the gold. Let's see. Alright, so that is your manor. As you see, as I was unlocking things, it was kind of building up. So it kind of goes up and a little beyond the top of the screen. Here's our blacksmith. Welcome, hero. Maybe you can help me. I used to be the greatest blacksmith in all of the lands. But one day the monster of this castle attacked my smithy and stole all of my blueprints. Without those blueprints, I can only make cutlery and stuff. Please bring back any blueprints you find, and I can build the most amazing equipment ever. At a price. Okay. So you start out, yeah, you already have kind of, like, the first stuff unlocked here. If I had the money, I could get a Squire Sword. I get +7 damage. So you have a weight limit. It doesn't really affect how your character controls, like in some other games that have that stuff, but it does determine what you can have equipped at a time. And so you can upgrade that too. Here's the Enchantress. Used to be a very powerful enchantress, but one day the monster of this castle invaded my dreams and stole my knowledge. They erased that knowledge in ruins, and without those ruins, I suck at my job. If you find any ruins, bring them back, and I'll sell them back to you at a profit. Alright. So, one of the first things I'm going to get, hopefully after the next run, is a sprint ruin. Okay. All of these are going to be the same across like your sword, helmet, body armor, and stuff. So everyone has a sprint ruin, everyone has a double jump ruin, but these stack. So you could potentially have like, you know, a triple jump, or you can be able to dash like 3 times, or things like that. And so some of the other ones are, you have ones that will like leech mana for every enemy that you kill. You have ones that will make enemies stronger. And this is Sharon, who is the gatekeeper of the castle. Every time you enter the castle, you have to pay the castle toll. At the beginning of the game, it is a 100% cost. So you want to spend all of the gold that you earn before you enter the castle again. You can lower the toll cost, but it's only up to like 50%. Well, that was dumb. The black smoke that's coming across this character is because I believe... What class is he? Oh, it's not showing my character. Right. He's a knave. So there's like, I think there's like an assassin class as well. I think that you upgrade from him. And it kind of, I guess it's supposed to signal, because I think they're special when you upgrade the class. You can like camouflage or whatever. The black smoke is supposed to represent that they can kind of sneak up and deal some really good damage. Oh, that didn't go very well. You actually saw there, I skipped it, but when you die, it will show on like the game over screen all the enemies that you killed. So if you have like a really good run, that stuff can be pretty cool. Okay. Let's see, this guy has dementia, and he is nearsighted. Dwarfism. What is this one? Okay. So dwarfism, obviously, as the name would imply, makes you very tiny. I'm out of gold. There's also a trait that makes you a giant. But the cool thing about dwarfism is we run into it. You also know it's darker. It's because I have like, I don't remember what the trait is, but it makes the screen dark. But as a dwarf, you will run into rooms that you can kind of enter like a hidden pathway that will sometimes lead to treasure, or it's just like a shortcut. So we'll see if we run into any of those. Alright, so this guy is a pain in the butt. Let's talk to him. Greetings, adventurer. I'm here to give you a chance of a lifetime. For the measly sum of 25% of your current gold, I will give you a chance to open one of 3 chests. One chest will triple what you paid, but the other 2 are empty. Alright. So, this really isn't a huge deal right now early in the game because I'm not really losing a ton of gold. But oh, I don't know, we'll go here. Ah, nice. I typically do not get it. Usually I lose. I guess that works out. But yeah, so one has the gold, one doesn't. Usually, I end up losing a ton of money. So this is a fairy chest objective. You'll run into many rooms like this. Some will ask you to, in this case, defeat all of the enemies. Others might ask you to get to the chest without taking damage. Different things like that. So in this case, I don't think I can. I might be able to. So because I have my magic attack that is able to go through the walls, I can actually take those guys out. But this one, maybe if I get like really close. Yeah, I can't. That sucks. Well, usually you'll have, there's a couple other ability, like magic attacks that you have that will be able to reach all of them. I cannot though. That was real smart. Yep, so that is going to lead to an area we don't want to go in. These right here I'm gonna ignore. There's sort of a story in this game. It's not a huge part of the game, but you will find these journals that are left behind by a previous family member, and he's kind of like detailing his journey through the castle. But I'll leave that up to you guys to actually find on your own. I guess I can't get down there. Wait. Oh, that's right, there's a... You can also do this kind of like downward pogo thrust kind of thing. It'll bounce off enemies. But I'm really bad at it. Like I can never get it right. Alright, here we go. So because I'm a dwarf, I can just kind of walk around and by. And there's nothing up there, so I can skip that. Which is pretty nice. Got a nice sword. Alright. I think I might go ahead and try this boss. I'll see how it goes. Probably won't go well. I'll try it. This is the first boss, the Gatekeeper Kidder. He's not hard. I guess he kinda is early on the game. The problem here is that there is one attack in particular that because I don't have the sprint yet, or like the dash ability, it's kinda hard to dodge, or like I can't really... I have a hard time dodging it, at least. Right now, just using that, I'm okay with. There we go. Oh, I got it. Yeah. That one I usually have a hard time getting the one, because I just have one jump right now. Is being able to get over him like that. Well, hopefully I don't screw this up. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Yes, awesome. Alright. Alright, so that is one boss down. You just showed that the little cutscene where the door, like part of that, one of the logos in the door lit up. Let's go. This is dangerous. Especially because I'm not good at these platforms. Ah! For as long as I play this game, you'd think I would be a lot better at activating those platforms there. Alright, but that was a good run. We took that boss down and got a lot of gold. Let's see, we've done barbarian stuff. would be a good one to show? Let's do Sir Shrew. He's Paladin. PS. So those are two kind of cool traits. We'll unlock the Shinobi class. So the Shinobi class has a very high attack power, but it has very low HP. Do that. Upgrade our mage. So I got the PC version last year and played about 24 hours of it for over the course of a few months. And then we got the PS4 version last week for review. So there's actually, if you go to the site, we posted our review earlier today. I gave it 5 out of 5. So I've actually played almost right around the same amount, maybe a little more of the PS4 version, but they are practically identical. There is one minor difference. There are some hidden kind of Easter eggs in the game that have been changed a little bit. I'm not entirely sure why. It's not a big deal. But in the PC version, there were some Easter eggs that kind of showed some of the previous games that were made by the developer. And in the PS4 version, those have been replaced by something different. Which is kind of weird. Can I get this rune? Oh, I didn't mean to spend all of that gold, because I was gonna get this, whatever, that's fine. But yeah, no, the PS4 version is great, fantastic. This game is incredible. There is, you know, the loading screen for entering the castle when you are nostalgic says reminiscing, which I really like. I like a lot of the writing in this game. But yeah, no, like last year I played the heck out of this game on PC. In the past week for review, I played a ton of it. And I mean, it's nothing, it runs fine. It's perfect on PS4, I guess. It is, I think it was Abstraction Games that did the port of this. And they did fine. So this map actually here will show you. There is, even though the castle is always randomly generated, there is a consistency in the layout of the 4 main areas. So it kind of shows you that, hey, the castle is the first thing you're going to. The forest is always going to be to the right, tower to the top, dungeon at the bottom. What was this guy's other trait? Alright, he has tunnel vision. So tunnel vision kind of affects the way that you see projectiles. Or it's like early warnings or something. Yeah, a lot of the traits, like you see like the nostalgic one, all it does is just apply a filter over the game. So there's a lot of traits that don't have like a huge effect on the gameplay itself. But then there are others that do change it. Okay, this I probably can't get because I need the Shinobi class. I need it upgraded because you can kind of like phase through stuff. Oh, actually. Alright, so I upgraded my paladin to a knight. Or, no, my knight to a paladin. And so that, if I press triangle, I can use this shield. Just something I never use. So it does take MP, but I don't take damage. Now I can get up here and I get the fairy chest. Look at that. Alright, so those are ruins, so that's what I need to take to the Enchantress. To get some new skills. So unfortunately, I have not been able to play the Vita version. Basically what happened is, when we got review codes, the North America code didn't go live till today. the way to use the European review codes to get a review out on time. But I have heard from other people who were able to play the Vita version that it's fine. Yeah, this is the first time I played this on the PC, and then even like the first, because when I started this up on PS4, it had been a while since I played this, and it takes a while. Like I'm doing pretty well. Actually, like usually better than I usually do when I start a new character. But it definitely takes some time. Oh, I don't really want that. We've actually, one of our other editors used a US review code. So sorry about that. But, so nerdy glasses. There are some traits that will kind of obscure your vision. These nerdy glasses, if you get them, they make everything normal. No, but yeah, like, there's a pretty steep learning curve here. When you're like just starting out, like, you're gonna die a lot in this game anyways. But it's probably gonna take, I don't know, probably a good 40 minutes to an hour to kind of really get a hold on what's going on. And I mean, you're gonna have runs that are just not good. I don't know, maybe it might be because I've played this so much. Like, I find Spelunky harder. But I'm also like, I don't know, I feel like it's sacrilege, but I'm not a huge Spelunky fan in general. I mean, I like it, but I'm not as big on it as a lot of other people are. Rogue Legacy is my jam. That's my big game here. Well, that's... Let's see, so baldness. This guy swears a lot. I want to try to change it up as much as I can. At least try to cover as many traits as I can. Alright, that will leave me with 200, so I can get that. The dash rune. Okay. Oh yeah. And then, let's see. Lady Bordeaux, she is an archmage. I think that just gives you more MP. So like some of the classes, like if you're like a barbarian, you have a lot more HP than you normally would. So these classes do determine the amount of HP and MP that you start out with. We'll go a few more runs. And then after this I'm going to switch to Pure Pool, which also came out on PS4. Now I have not touched that at all. I actually bought it about like an hour ago, and I have not played any of it. So we are going to discover that together. We'll see if we can clear out this main area though. There is a class in this game, I haven't unlocked them yet, that is there's actually, I mean, it's funny you bring up Spelunky, there is a Spelunker class. I think it starts out as like a miner. And basically that increases the percentage of gold that you pick up. So like I'm picking up 10 gold right now, but with that class I'd be getting like, I think it starts at 11, but as you upgrade the amount of gold that you can increase and stuff, like it picks up quite a bit, to the point where like if you want to get a lot of gold really quick, you're gonna want to choose the Splunker. I never played Volgar. I know that was Eric's big game for a while. But the control eye, like this is super responsive. Like I've said this before to other people just outside of the stream. Like this is the kind of game that if you die, it's your fault. It's that kind of thing. Like everything's very responsive. It controls the way you would want it to. Like, you know, it just feels good. Like I don't really know of a good way to describe it. It feels how it should, right? And I think I may have played like about 10 minutes of Volgar. I think I really don't want to say too much because I haven't spent a ton of time with Volgar. Volgar felt like kind of stiff, I guess, like, you know, in the way like if you would jump in Volgar, like you can't do this, right? Like you can't just jump and then move over like this, right? So you are, especially as you get more ruins, especially when you get like your dash and your double jump, like in Rogue Legacy, you are extremely maneuverable, and you can go all over the place. Like later on, like if I were to go into like I think I got like a +2 new game save file here. No, I died very quickly in Volgar. I played about 10 or 15 minutes. I died like 3 times. I'm like, okay, maybe I'll play this later, but yeah, no, like when you get like double, like I got like a triple jump and like 2 dashes, and I just go all over the place very quickly. Yeah. Actually, I can probably get a double jump now. No, it's see what armor there is. Get that helmet. So yeah, this game does the thing where the look of your character changes depending on what armor you wear. Which is pretty cool. Yeah. They're pretty different games too. Like Volgar is very different. So I am a Shinobi class, so you will see very quickly just the way in which this class can just rip through things. But you also have to be careful because he cannot take a whole lot of hits. Or is it? Yep, Sir Wallace. For the most part, except for maybe like later on in some of the later areas, if you are a Shinobi class, he will take down most of the main enemies in one hit. There might be a few exceptions to that. So this is the forest. We can kind of go through here a little bit. You can tackle any of the 4 bosses in any order you want. Oh boy. But there's kind of a recommended order that you go to the forest a second, and then the tower 3rd, and the basement 4th. But if you're good, you can... I shouldn't have done that. So that's one of the game's mini bosses. There's about a handful of them. They're usually not too hard. But for me personally, I find that I have the most trouble with this game early on because I don't have like my double jumps, I don't have my sprints and stuff that I'm used to late in the late game. So with that in mind, like I'm not as maneuverable as I'm used to being, so it's a little harder to like dodge things. So you see my character is a giant, which is good, and that I have a longer reach with my sword. It's also kind of harder to dodge things. if you want to be technical, I guess there's some Dark Souls elements in this. But I mean, I do love Dark Souls, but I think there's a little more like, I don't know, maybe like Castlevania, kind of ghouls and ghosts, sort of in this. I don't know if he'll run into any of them. We already saw there was the room that had the guy with the 3 treasure chests that you kind of play that game. Seen some mini boss. But there are some pretty cool, like, hidden Easter egg rooms. I don't know if we'll see them. So if we run into them, we'll see when we get there. But other than that, there are some really cool traits that this game has. But I don't want to say what they are. Like they're better left for you to kind of discover on your own. There's a lot of enemies down there. Oh god, okay. Maybe not the smartest way to go about this. The good thing is, if I run out of the room, those other enemies are dead. But yeah, I mean, this is totally a game that if you're not like, if you're being dumb, like you will get yourself killed very quickly. Pretty much any enemy could potentially kill you. Like you're not. I mean, I guess like later on, once you've upgraded your health a lot, you can kind of you can withstand a little bit more. But especially like right now, like I mean, I take like 3 or 4 hits and I'm just about dead. I guess unless you're the barbarian, you can take a little bit more there then. Oh, I forgot I'm a giant. So if you are a big trophy person, this game does have a platinum. I currently have all but 2 trophies. For the most, like, okay, there are some really difficult trophies here. Most of them aren't too bad. There is one in particular that I really don't think I'm gonna be able to get. It's basically it's a challenge to beat the game without dying, like, but beat the game dying less than 15 times, which I can't even. I tried it a few times last night, and I was able to take down like 2 bosses before dying 15 times. Like I don't know if I'll be able to do that one. So yeah, like if you want to go for the platinum in this, it's gonna be pretty rough. At least that one in particular. The other ones aren't too bad, but. Alright, so upgrade the haggle. So Sharon will take 10% less. Alright, so we won't be able to unlock this guy, but you can unlock the Lich and upgrade into the Lich King. So he's pretty cool in that every time you kill an enemy, your max health goes up. So he doesn't start with a whole lot of health, but you can kind of eventually get a pretty decent amount of HP out of him if you have a good run. I think we'll do one more run, and then we're gonna switch to pure pool. And I guess just to show you how the architect works. Greetings, boy. Wanna know a cool fact? I'm crazy. This lever here, with a simple pull, I can prevent the castle from changing. This way you can go through exactly what your ancestors went through. Impressed? You should be. How did I build this fantastic contraption? With science and, of course, and magic. Mostly magic. But my skills aren't free. If I unlock this castle, I will take 40% of all the gold you earn. Alright, so typically this is something I would do if I wanted to make a few boss runs, like if I was stuck. But if you see, if I open up the map, everything that I just did with that last character is right there. The enemies respawn, but any of the treasure chests that you open, they are already opened. So you can't get that gold again. But we're just gonna take a different pathway. Great. Alright, well, we're gonna try our luck. You will sometimes run across these teleporters. They will just kind of take you to a random area of the castle. Typically, this usually takes me to like some of the in-game stuff. Probably not really the in-game, but like later areas of the game with very difficult enemies. But we'll see what happens. Alright, not too bad. I don't think I want any part of this. You will run into that clown in this game. Oh, this is... Take no damage. Oh, I don't know. I don't have my double jump. I don't think the jump and sprint will get me there. We'll try it. Nope. Alright. Well, if I would have been able to reach across, I would have got that, but I think I needed one more jump in me. Oh, come on. Why'd I do that? Not even... I got one hit in me. That's all. Great. Oh. Alright, well. She did pretty okay. I like that, I like this screen. I like the display of the enemies you've killed. I like the little, like, the parting words part. I think it's pretty good. This game is great. Again, we have the review on our site right now. I gave it a 5 out of 5. I love it. Like, last year was one of my favorite games that I played. This year it'll probably be the same. It's real good. Soundtrack's great. Everything's great. Rogue Legacy, it's worth it. I mean, it's real good. And it's cross-buy, so you can play on the Vita and PS4 or PS3, wherever you want, wherever you go. Rogue Legacy all day, every day. Alright. Yeah. So I guess I have to end this, but I am gonna start Pure Pool up right in like a few minutes. So I think the stream will will end, but it'll start back up once I start up Pure Pool. So don't leave. Again, I haven't played Pure Pool at all, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, again, Rogue Legacy, it's out now. If you didn't pre-order it, I think it's back to the $17 price. I think it's worth it. But again, like if you want, you can check out my review on the site for that. And then I will see you guys in a few minutes.